What's up, Titan fans? How we doing? Welcome to the Week 9 Mayo Monday Victory Monday episode. The first Victory Monday episode of the season. I know we got another win, but that was on Monday Night Football, so it was a Victory Tuesday episode. But this is the very first Victory Monday episode where the Tennessee Titans beat the New England Patriots 20-17 to now finally have 2 wins on the season to be 2-6, and that's how we're entering the basically the second half of the season. But as people begin to enter the stream, let's go ahead and insert a plug real quick as people are coming in. Don't forget to follow me on YouTube, TikTok, and X. I place videos on the channel all throughout the week. I'm talking Monday through Friday, starting with post-game videos and then with pre-game videos for the next week. I also do live streams, during the football game, either a watch party or a halftime report, or sometimes just thoughts before the game, some raw thoughts right off the bat, right from the dome. And then throughout the week, sometimes it's just longer pre-recorded videos or those 60 seconds or less shorts that I can post, on the channel for quick little content updates. But let's go ahead and dive into things. So the Tennessee Titans hosted the New England Patriots at Nissan Stadium, and it was a very slow, low scoring, boring game, I know, and there was tons of penalties right off the bat. And this game, was kind of like a situation. It was almost like a win-win, right? If we lose the game, hey, we increase our draft stock. We ended up jumping higher because, look, there's many teams right now with 2 wins on the season. If we would have lost this game, we would have been the sole team with 1 win that would have had us closer to securing that number 1 draft spot. But right now, there's many teams with multiple wins on the season. I'm talking about just 2. If we look at the standings right now, the teams with 2 wins, we're talking the New York Giants, the New England Patriots, the Saints, who started 2-0, and they've been on a 7-game losing streak. They just fired their head coach. That's something we can't do as an organization. Let's not fire our head coach. I know our record's not good, but he inherited this team. We got to give him a couple seasons, like 2 or 3 seasons, to see how he does. But right now, let's just keep him along. Then the Raiders also only have 2 wins. The Jags, 2 wins. The Panthers, 2 wins. And thankfully, they won yesterday. They beat the Saints. So we're all still close for the top draft picks. The Browns have 2 wins. The Dolphins and us. That's many teams with 2 wins. And right above us is the Jets and the Cowboys. So it's going to be a battle for these top draft picks. We don't want to fall too far back, but it is good to get some wins, because we need to stack them. We got to get our team used to winning. We can't just lose out completely and then everyone just lose all confidence in this organization. Right now in our division, we're 3rd in the division, 2-6. The Jags are behind us. They're 2-7. We're only slightly above them, even though we have the same amount of wins. Just they have more losses. We still have to play them twice. If we do win more games throughout the year, it's going to be against the Jags. We versed them twice. We can probably split a win with them. But then the Colts, they're only 2 games ahead of us. And then the Texans are 4 games ahead of us. I mean, if you're really trying to make the playoffs, which we would lose out basically when we got there, but if we're trying to make the playoffs, I mean, it is a possibility. Like, if we just turn this season around, Will Levis comes back, he's on fire, and we go on this massive win streak because Houston's been losing lately. I mean, they're 6-3. They're really not that far ahead of us. I just don't have confidence in this team. But we did just beat the Patriots, who is a bottom tier team, but we beat them 20-17 in overtime. And let's dive into the game a little bit. Look, Drake May was lighting us up, I mean, he completed 29 passes. He had 206 yards. He threw a tutty, but he had 2 interceptions. Talk about a breakout game for Amani Hooker. Amani Hooker, he's been a turnover machine for defense this season. I mean, he has 3, which is the most on our team. I mean, other than that, we only have a forced fumble, that was recovered. So we finally have a guy who's making turnovers on defense. He's the only guy since Byard has left the team, which is outstanding. Then Drake May also carried the ball on us a ton. He had 8 carries for 95 yards. We could not stop this man. We were not prepared for the scramble. He scrambled all over us, almost broke the century mark, but we were able to stop their traditional run game. Stevenson had 10 carries, 16 yards. He couldn't get much. Our defense was stout this game. Special teams still had its issues. They ended up breaking off long special teams plays on us, unfortunately, and that's just, the way it is right now. as a Tennessee Titans fan, because they will not fire their special teams coordinator. They're just letting him be miserable week after week, and we're just letting it happen. I know they try blaming the punter, some Stonehouse, because he's not putting enough angle on the ball. He's just darting it right down the field, and he's out kicking his kick coverage. But I'm telling you, our gunners on the special teams, they miss the tackles every single time. Even if they out kick him, he still just misses the tackle. It is wild. But hey, for offense, Mason Rudolph had a decent day, 20 of 33, 240 yards. He had 2 tutties and that 1 interception where he overthrew Chig. Chig tried jumping for it, hit him in his hands, bounced out and got picked off. But if you looked at the play, Ridley was wide open in the right side of the end zone. I'm saying no one was around him. When that interception happened, Ridley you could see him just angry in the corner of the end zone by himself. No one was over there. And then Tony Pollard once again had another wonderful day. What an outstanding pickup Tony Pollard was. 28 carries, 128 yards. He's looking like a great pickup for this team. Chestnut, 5 carries, 22. He was pretty good. He had that good hurdle play. Mason Rudolph scrambled a few times. Calvin Ridley once again had many targets on the day. 8 targets, caught 5 of them though for 73 yards. NWI, he's coming out. 5 receptions, 50 yards, and another tutty on the season. He's getting touchdowns every single game. They got to change his name from NWI to TWI. He's a touchdown Westbrook Akina. And then Chig, he did have that one drop in the end zone that turned to an interception, but it was a bad thrown pass. Let's be real. And he had 3 catches, 38 yards. And Nick Vannett, he had a couple catches for 33 yards, but they were not covering this man. When he would catch the ball, he would be wide open. That one over the middle, no one around him. I guess they scouted him as a blocking tight end, which is what he traditionally is, and no one guarded him at all. But the defense was once again outstanding. Jack Gibbons led the team, 14 total tackles, 5 solo. He even had a half sack. Oh, Dr. Gibby coming out. We haven't seen this man since the Mike Vrabel days, but he looks like he's coming out. We had 8 total tackles for loss. Harold Landry got a sack. Big Jeff finally showed up and had a sack. This man's been invisible most of the season, but finally came out and got a sack. I know he's been playing injured. He's been having the elbow injury, but look, maybe he's back. I don't know. Arden Key, he's been pretty consistent throughout the year. He racked up another sack, and Sebastian Joseph Day, he ended up with a half sack. So our defense is looking good once again. And then let's see if we can see how many penalty yards we had this game, because the penalties were ridiculous. Where is it? Yeah, okay. So, it doesn't even look like that many. It is like they had more than us. They had 8 penalties for 58 yards. We had 10, though. 10 for 67. Penalties nonstop. You watched the game, especially in the second half. It was like every other play. It looked like there was a penalty flag coming out. You saw yellow all over the field. And real quick, hey, if you're watching the show right now, don't forget to go ahead and send that like button. Go ahead and comment down below. Let me know how you feeling about the Tennessee Titans. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm down with talking about whatever you're willing to talk about. Go ahead and send it in the chat. And then let's go ahead and go by the drives and see how things worked out. So starting off the bat, at the beginning of the game, the Tennessee Titans came out there, 8 plays, beautiful drive, 75 yards, got a tutty right off the bat. Next thing, the Pats go down the field, for 5 plays, 32 yards, attempted a field goal, and they went ahead and missed the field goal. Then we get the ball, we punt it, they punt it, we punt it. It's just crazy stuff back and forth, right? They throw an interception to Hooker, we throw an interception. In the red zone, on the goal line, we throw an interception. Then they make a field goal, make the game a little closer, 7-3. We punt, they punt, boom, downs in right there. It's halftime. So then after that, we end up they get the ball after half. They score a tutty. We get a field goal, punt, they fumble. Then we score a touchdown, the punt, touchdown. They ended up getting one 17-17, and we go to overtime. Talk about that last play of the game, right? That last play of the game was crazy. We only ended up bringing, a 3-man rush. He had like 10 seconds or plus back there just scrambling around, and it looked like last second he just threw it up. But it was a good play by their guy. He caught the ball. He ended up boxing our guy out, getting the catch. But it was wild. It sent the game into overtime right there. And then in overtime, we were driving. We were looking pretty good. I mean, we drove 72 yards, looking like we might score a touchdown, but they ended up holding us. Hey, y'all should have drafted May. Hey, we weren't looking for a quarterback last draft. So we ended up trying to build around the quarterback, got the offensive lineman. Hey, what's up, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights? What's up, man? Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that jazz. Appreciate the comment. It helps the channel out. You too, Honorably Stone. Appreciate you being here. But yes, that last play, he had about 10 seconds or so to throw the ball. They got it, brought it to overtime. We drive down the field in overtime. We look like we're about to turn the ball over. We end up fumbling on a snap at the goal line area. It was disastrous, but we ended up kicking a field goal. And luckily, our defense held strong for the Patriots, which they ended up throwing an interception. Another one to Amani Hooker. What a beast this year. He said, hey, Honorably Stone got a comment right now. Who got rid of A.J. Brown? Hey, you know who got rid of A.J. Brown. It was the Tennessee Titans. It was the different regime, though. That was back when we had Mike Vrabel. We had J-Rob in the house as the GM. Both of them fired. So we don't have them anymore. We knew they got fired, or at least A-Rob. The GM, he got fired right after A.J. Brown came to Tennessee and put up almost like 200 yards on us. Right after that game, we fired our GM. We got Ron Carthon now, and then later we ended up getting rid of Mike Vrabel. So that's basically what happened with the A.J. Brown stuff because they knew it was a mistake. And we knew who we got for it. We ended up getting Traylon Burks, who basically has one catch on the year, got injured. He's on IR. He hasn't done anything for us. He's a bust. We have many busts from the previous drafts. Rebuild and track, and yes, you are correct. That's what we're doing. Rebuilding. We're 2-6. I mean, we're not completely out of it yet. We're not, completely mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. There's still a chance if you believe we can go on this crazy win streak when Will Levis comes back, and we can all of a sudden win out and then the Texans lose because the Texans are only 4 games ahead and we still got lots of season left, right? I mean, how many games are left? We're 2-6. So we played 8 games, out of a 17 weeks. So we have 9 games left. I mean, there's plenty of time to turn this thing around. You know what I'm saying? But is it going to happen? No. Let's see. Honorably Stone said in the comments, you might need to buy a jersey to turn this. Hey, look, I got a Will Levis jersey. I'm telling you, I ain't wearing it right now, but I got a Will Levis jersey. I mean, I don't like wearing it, though. This man is horrible. We'll talk about a mistake. I got a couple jerseys that was a mistake. I got a Will Levis jersey. I got a Julio jersey. Julio, 1 season, wasn't, that good with us. He was okay, you know what I'm saying, but not that great. And then obviously the Will Levis situation. He's been tough. He's been a tough watch, except for when it was against the Atlanta Falcons or against the Miami Dolphins. Other than that, we haven't seen much of Will Levis. Then, look, ESPN also put out a thing real quick about the game, right? They were talking about us having the number 1 defense, because I guess we allowed 265.4 total yards per game, and we gave up 284 against the Patriots, and we ended up recording 4 sacks. The defense is pretty good. I know some of it is just the stats are skewed because teams always have short fields against us, so it's not a direct indication of how good our defense is. I mean, they still allow a lot of touchdowns, just like last week, against the Lions, we stopped Jared Goff to 85 passing yards, somewhere around there, but they still put up 52 points. So, I mean, it's not like our pass defense is that good. They just have short fields to work with just to give up a touchdown. So, some of it's like almost like fake news. You skew the numbers, because if you look at the special teams numbers, you look at the turnovers and everything, that's why the defense looks as good as it does on paper, And, of course, this game, we're playing the Patriots, so we can stop them to a decent amount of yardage without them just blowing us out of the water like it was when it was like the Bills or something, you know what I'm saying? And then they also put out some information about our surprising performances with Big Jeff and stuff like that, and Drake May, how he scrambled all over us. It was wild. He looked like Lamar Jackson out there. We had no plan for Drake May scrambling around. But look, I'm glad it's a victory Monday. We got out there. We got to eat a W finally. It's been a while. We haven't had many of them this season. Hey, Drake Lamar Jackson, May, you are right. That man got some legs. I don't know what his speed is on Madden and his scrambling ability, but they definitely have to boost it because this man can scramble. I was unaware. I haven't watched a whole bunch of Drake May film, or anything like that. Before this game, he only played 5 quarters in the NFL, and then in college, I didn't think he was that impressive. But yeah, he came out. He looked pretty good. I mean, and we do have the number one pass defense in the league, and he still looked pretty good against us. And he was able to scramble all over us, and we weren't ready. But next week, we end up getting the Chargers. Chargers just got to win over the Browns last week, so we'll see how we do against them. But it is a later game, which is kind of rare for us because typically we have those 1 p.m. games on Sunday. It's been like that all season long besides the Miami game on Monday Night Football. So we do have a later game, and that's the last one for the season. Everything else the rest of the year is all 1 p.m. games. That's typically where we sit at because, they're not saving any primetime slots for the Tennessee Titans. But it is good to get this victory Monday. I appreciate the comments and everything down below, and just keep them coming. It keeps the channel alive, keeps the conversation moving. But this about does it for today's episode. So yeah, just let me know all your feelings toward the Tennessee Titans and this dub down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tighten up, baby.